Wow, what an amazing day I had today. Down at one of my favorite places. Can you guess where I was? No, I wasn't boating. I was down at the beach though. Beautiful day, nice breeze, absolutely gorgeous. Anyways, the reason why we were down there is because we're going head to head. OSMO Pocket versus the iPhone 11. So we put these two to the test side by side, and we're going to see how good the video and photo comes out of these. We're going to do a good comparison. Let's get into this one. It's pretty good, and you might be surprised which is better than the other. Let's get into it. Well, this was the setup I used. I'm using the Ulanzi bracket, which was actually designed to hold the OSMO Pocket and a cell phone together so you can be able to control it. But this worked out perfect to give me that standardization that the cameras were both basically on the same plane and received both the same motion. This way the lighting, the audio, the way I was walking was recorded equally on both cameras, which is exactly what I wanted to try and standardize that footage. So what I'm going to show you is a side-by-side comparison of all the video. Now, I will link up here the specs on both of the cameras to give you an idea of what they're like. And they're fairly similar. I was quite surprised with that when you actually compare it. Anyways, on the iPhone, I used the native app that comes with it. I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't use any other apps. I used the app that came with it and just filmed that way however it wanted to, basically all auto. The Osmo Pocket, I normally film in decent light and color grade later. I didn't. I set it to auto. Auto everything. Auto, audio, everything was set. I let the cameras control what they were doing because I wanted to see the raw footage out of it. So what I'm showing you, I haven't color graded it, I didn't tweak the audio, I didn't do anything. They're straight out of these cameras, so you can see a side-by-side comparison of not only how well do they handle image stabilization, but how do they change between light and dark scenes, bright sun, all that. So this was straight out of it. I did walking, I did running, and I showed you a bit of vlogging, so you can see what it's like vlogging with each of these. With the audio, you are going to hear wind noise. Any mic, as I've said millions of times, that's unprotected is subjected to wind noise. But which one's better at reducing the amount of wind noise? Hopefully we can discover that in this. So without further ado, let's get into some of this comparison video and see which one's better than the other, or are they both the same? Let's check it out. We're now going to do a bit of a walking test and see how the footage goes. And as you can see, there's a bit of an incline here and it's very sandy, so it makes for uneven walking, which is perfect for this test to see how stable the gimbal is and the iPhone 11 walking in an uneven surface. And as you can see, it is a bright sunny day. It's 29 degrees Celsius, and look at that gorgeous water coming up. Now we're into the shade here, so we'll see how the stability of the iPhone 11 versus the Osmo Pocket is in going down a decline and walking along. Trying to keep it as fairly steady as I possibly can, but you can see it is a little steep and rough, and we've got a bit of a drop here, so see how it handles it. And it's not too bad at all. Look at that gorgeous lake. Now there's not much of a wind. We got some, you probably hear some across the microphones, but there's not much of a wave down here at all. It's a cloudless sky and it's absolutely beautiful. And this beach goes for miles in both directions. But that is your little bit of a walking footage with the Osmo Pocket and the iPhone 11. And now we're going to try and go back up and you'll see how stable this footage is. Wind, we got some, you probably hear some across the microphones, but there's not much of a wave down here at all. Wind, we got some, You can probably hear some across the microphones, but there's not much of a wait. Right, now what we're going to do is a bit of a running test. I've come into the shade, and here's our little running path, and let's see how well this handles it. So here I am, doing a bit of a run. I can see the iPhone 11 kind of twisting and bouncing around a bit. The Osmo Pocket looks pretty good. So I have to turn around and run it back again and see how good it is. The iPhone 11 looks really good though, but we'll just have to see. That was a big step, but there you go, some running footage. Boy, I'm out of breath, I'm getting old, but that's some running footage. What did you think? Now we're going to try doing some vlogging, and I can show you what this is like. Now, I have done a lot of vlogging with the Osmo Pocket and with the iPhone 11, and I'm happy with both, but side by side, this should be really interesting. Now, it's kind of hard, my eyes are going to be all over the place, because the iPhone 11, the lens is basically over here, the Osmo Pocket, it's like up in here. I've tried to align it as best as I can, but I had to make room for the gimbal head, so that's it. Let's have a little walk around. And it's very uneven ground, and I gotta cross this little road without getting ran over, and we're in and out of the sunshine, so you can see how they adjust to that. But here we go. This is vlogging with the iPhone 11 and the Osmo Pocket. I can see the Osmo Pocket has me on face track, which is good. I know I'm in focus when it's in face track. There we are, full bright sun. It's kind of late in the afternoon, but the sun is still fairly high in the sky, and you can see how they handle the bright light. Let me try a bit of a backlight there and see how that is. Boy, it sure burns out the forehead. But let's get up into some shade a bit more, and you can see vlogging with this is great. And using that little Ulanzi rig, it works perfect, especially for doing the dual camera thing here. But so this is part of the beach area. There's a huge park area, and it has picnic areas, it has playgrounds, it's got a petting zoo, BMX bike track. I think there's even some skateboard stuff around here. But so you can see I'm in and out of the shade and the shadows. That is what it's like vlogging with the iPhone 11, and it's also what it's like vlogging with the Osmo Pocket. Not sure how the audio is. Hopefully we're not having too much wind noise across the microphones. So that's it for this little vlog. There you have it. Side-by-side comparison of the iPhone 11 and the Osmo Pocket. Who do you think won? Which one do you think did better for video, audio, stabilization? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to know what you think. My first impression when I was seeing all this footage back, the iPhone 11 blew this away. That was my first reaction. Then when I looked closer at it, I realized what the iPhone 11 is doing. The iPhone 11 is highly processing the images, video and photo, to look its absolute best. Now, it's hard to tell in some of those side-by-side clips because they're smaller, but if you actually saw them full screen, you'd see more what the iPhone 11 is doing. It's kind of doing an HDR effect, which is high dramatic range. It's trying to do the fill in the shadows so you can see them and heal the highlights, if you want to say that. So you're getting a better looking image initially when you look at it. The Osmo Pocket is not doing that. It still has a great range, but it seems like it doesn't have a great range as the iPhone 11, because the iPhone 11 is internally trying to give you the best it possibly can. So I don't know. When I look at image stabilization, clear winner. There's no comparison between the Osmo Pocket and the iPhone 11. The gimbal makes all the difference in the world. Now I do have a video of hand holding this, and you can get some really, really good smooth footage with it. I'll put a link to that one down below. Now, for audio was surprisingly good on the iPhone. The audio is good on the Osmo Pocket. For wind noise though, the Osmo Pocket handles it better. It has the 2 microphones and it does a bit of like noise canceling. So I prefer the audio from the Osmo Pocket. Don't get me wrong, this is still good, but this is really subjected to wind noise. And it always has been. Every time I've ever tried to use it, it's always been an issue. So I kind of do an alternative way of doing audio when I'm using the iPhone 11. So to me, the winner for the audio was the Osmo Pocket because it controlled the wind noise better. And to me, it just sounded a little better. This kind of was a little muffly, in my opinion. But now, for photos, I've always said, because these are 12 megapic, it's not the megapic number. Whether it's 400 megapic picture or 10 megapic picture, I don't want more megapics. I want better quality megapics because I want a better quality image. Now, these are both 12 megapic. This has a slightly bigger sensor than the Osmo Pocket. But when you look at those 100% crops, the clear winner, iPhone 11. Sorry, DJI, but the photo quality is not the greatest. It's mushy, it's very grainy, and I was in bright light, so it wasn't like a low light issue. But for photos, the iPhone 11 to me is a clear winner. DJI, you can use it, but it's not the greatest. iPhone 11, in my opinion, was a clear winner. And as I say, with the video, I prefer the DJI. I know initially when I looked at it, the iPhone 11, oh, it looks so good. Because it's basically got a little guy in there, or a little girl in there, doing your color grading and getting everything all set up, so it looks awesome. If I shot in decent light in the DJI and then color graded it, I know it'll beat the iPhone 11. The quality coming out of the Osmo Pocket is really good. And when you're in decent light, I've got a greater dramatic range and I can play a little more in there. This was all set to auto. Both were, so what you get is what you get. This isn't really internally doing a lot of heavy processing and color grading and all the other stuff. The iPhone 11, it is. You can see it once you kind of zoom in and you look at some of this stuff. You can see exactly what's going on in there. Don't get me wrong. The iPhone 11 is phenomenal. It's got great video capabilities. It's really good. But I think, in my opinion, I prefer the DJI Osmo Pocket, having that video a little cleaner and a little more true to life. This tended to saturate out quite a bit, and I really noticed it in my skin tones. But even in the grass and everything else, it was a little greener than I think it really was in real life. This actually was a little more muted maybe than it was in real life, but this was a little more true too. So anyways, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'd really like to hear what you all find from my little testing there. Now, I know I didn't do any nighttime or dark stuff with this. I have done both separately. I'll put those videos down below so you can check it out. They're both phenomenal at night, and the Osmo Pocket honestly blew me away with its nighttime quality. It, again, I think surpasses the iPhone 11. Even though the iPhone 11 sensor is a little bigger, I think the quality of the sensor in the Osmo Pocket might be a bit better. As I say, I think Apple's really relying on internal processing to produce a finished consumer grade product for you. So boom, there you go, out the door, it's done. Where the Osmo Pocket, it's got a little more playability for the amateur, advanced amateur, even the pro that wants to create a little bit of extra B-roll on the fly. But again, I'd love to know what you think. That's it for this one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this video with a little bit of the scenery that I was enjoying the day I created this. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. So, until the next time, enjoy the beach.